shake your body, shake your body. Let's not sleep together. You can't sleep in my bed. Let's not sleep together. You can't sleep in my bed. Let's not sleep
Hello everyone, welcome to Gamersledge Podcast. I am your host Mark, and joining us this week is of course Mitchell. Hi Mitchell. And then next to him in the lineup we have Demon Phones. Hi, what's up Tommy?
How's it going?
And then next to him we have swirling his icicles in his alcohol like a villain from Inspector Gadget. It's Dave!
Pretty accurate, actually.
He needs a white cat. Does he have the white cat in his lap?
Asks the man from the Great White North. Is it snowing up there yet?
Oh, it's come and gone and come and gone, and currently it's gone, mostly. It's cold. Very, very cold, but no snow.
I do not envy you. And I, of course, am your host in the top right. I am Mark, and we have lots to go over today. But we're going to start by the way we always do, going around the room, talking about what we've done since the last time we were on the show. Last show was before the new year, which is technically put us over our 12th year anniversary. So we'll start with Mitchell. Mitchell, what have you been up to since last we saw you? Did you dye your hair blue? First of all, that's my first question.
Yeah.
Copycat. That's all I have to say.
All right. Well, I've been playing Valkyria Chronicles 4 and Mega Man 11, and I beat Kingdom Hearts 1, and I'm currently working on Chain of Memories. And I've also been playing Night Wars and The World Ends With You Final Remix.
Nice. That's a lot.
Yeah. And then for phones, I've also got Fire Emblem Heroes and Opera Omnia, but that's pretty much all I'm down to for phone games.
All right then, Deuce. How about you? How was your Christmas?
My Christmas was very entertaining, much fun. The game I ended up by getting for Christmas was Kingdom Hearts 3. So that brings me to my list here. I have an App Store Master Race console list right here for Dissidia, Operis Omnia. I've been playing that for the past week, and I haven't really been doing too much sleep. I've also been playing Dofus, and if you're familiar with the series Wakfu on Netflix, it's from a game that came out of France. And aside from App Store stuff, Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm excited for it. Very excited for it. So excited for it that I've been replaying through the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5s again. However, this time is with a catch. I started up a stream with my sister, and our stream title is called My Sister Sucks at Video Games. It's exactly what you would expect.
You berating your sister as she tries to play a video game?
Oh yeah, me pulling my hair out and my beard whiskers from her going, which one's the jump button? Oh god. It's all coming back to me. We've gotten obnoxiously successful with that in the short amount of time that we've been doing it. We're already affiliates, and we're being sponsored by a couple of different people and a couple of different brands. One of them is like a thumbstick pad thing and that's pretty fun. We got those in the mail. I'm either hit or miss on them, frankly. Like thumbsticks or what they are. I prefer the original. That comes with the controller. I digress. Aside from that, nah, it's just been Overwatch and App Store games.
Nice. Dave, how about you?
We played some stuff.
Nothing important to report, right?
No, we actually started playing Diablo 3 on the Switch finally, and there was a great. Sorry, one second. Okay, that's better. There was a real fun thing because it has Amiibo support in it, and I didn't read up on it. I just tried it right away. Yeah, that was a bad move. Apparently, you throw a random Amiibo on it, it just summons some creature to stomp the hell out of you. So that was a lot. That was a learning experience. after that death, so that was a lot of fun. I did something really annoying in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, where I basically
annoying? I don't believe it.
Yeah, no, I know it's shocking. It's really shocking. So we all know my fascination with Jigglypuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Fascination / fetish, but yes.
No. We're not going fetish, but it's it's my favorite Pokemon.
Did you just say
That's what
Pokemon? I
Yes.
think I think I audibly heard Mitchell snap his head up when you said Pokemon.
Probably. So, because of the changes in the system, it made it kind of easier to farm Pokemon in the game. And there's some like combo mechanics to it and everything like that, and increases your chances to get a shiny after a while. And then there's an interesting thing in the game where instead of just getting like the normal buffs, there's actually Pokemon specific candy, which gives you a +1 in every stat group. So, apparently, if you spend a few days farming these things a few hundred times, you end up with a lot of these candies at the end of it, and a nice, shiny, high-stat Jigglypuff at the end of this. So I caught a nice, reasonably low-level Jigglypuff, got a shiny, and just crammed this thing full of performance-enhancing drugs to the point where it was like Drago from Rocky IV.
Can I point out that they're not just performance-enhancing drugs. They're performance-enhancing drugs made of other Jigglypuffs. You forced it to cannibalize other Jigglypuffs.
Technically, a lot of these were just got from combos, but yes, I did submit a bunch of them and got a few of them that way.
I think you've
However, so yes, this thing was so just pumped full of steroids. I changed its name to War Machine, and I just took them to the Elite Four right away and just plowed through them. And I was like, probably like 10, 20 levels like less than the Elite Four, and he just annihilated them. And I had so much fun doing that I actually did it again, caught another shiny Jigglypuff, and then evolved him into Wigglytuff just to have backup. And that one was a female, so I named her Big Barda. No, nothing for that one?
No.
Well, yes. I like Big Barda. I think it's a good name.
No, I thought you'd appreciate that one.
I did.
And, yeah, basically nothing can stop me in that game. Now it's actually to the point where if I go to any Pokemon Center, it calls me Jigglypuff. It's welcome, Jigglypuff Master Burgundy. And I'm like, yeah, I like that. I can go with that.
That almost makes me actually want to buy the game.
Yeah. Because after after the end game, you can go around and find these master trainers that specialize in one Pokemon. When you beat them, you get the name of the master of that Pokemon. Which, of course, the first thing I did was find the Jigglypuff master and show her what's for. So,
With the Jigglypuff?
You mean murder
with
them.
the Jigglypuff.
With
Oh,
the-
yeah.
With the Jigglypuff.
Yeah, War Machine slaughtered her. It wasn't even a contest.
Because with the master thing, you can only use the Pokemon that the master is for, right?
Right. So you have to have an equal Pokemon, and it's a one-on-one fight. I started doing this again with a Dratini, but they're a little bit harder to farm. So if they run away, it breaks the combo, so I got to go back and restart that. But we already have a shiny high-stat Dratini, and we're going to cram this one full of steroids, too. And
Oh, God.
have a nice game.
Imagine trying to do that with an Abra.
Yeah, that's probably a real pain in the game. But doable. You just need to have some patience, which I had a lot of.
The chat is going insane about your performance enhancing Jigglypuff.
It's what it is, but bring it. Ain't nothing beating it.
Mr. J
This thing is off the charts.
Mr. J Knife shouts, "Unleash the puffs!"
Yeah. It was funny. Like, I thought, there would still be a little bit of a challenge, like something would, no. He just Lance, nothing, not even one. He was just one hitting everything he threw at me, and he was still like at least 15 levels under what they were. I mean, this thing is a monster. It's a monster puff. It is my greatest gaming accomplishment of all time.
I thought avoiding getting any trophies was your greatest gaming accomplishment of all time.
No, I think this one is. I think this one's pretty. I like this one. What else? Super Smash Brothers came out. I'm playing that. Not religiously. I don't have everything unlocked yet or anything like that, but actually even played, my nephews, my nieces and nephews, wherever, we played that a little bit. Actually had my son playing it a little bit, which was hilarious because he has no idea what he's doing. But he was like, Pac-Man. And I'm like, oh, cool, dude. But that's a lot of fun. What else? I thought there was one other game. Diablo 3 I already mentioned. Yeah. So that's basically that stuff right now.
Matt, how about you?
Well, not the last time or a couple times ago we talked. I was playing Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Well, over the holidays, I got the story thus far, so that has 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8 all in it. So I started over Birth by Sleep, to play the final mix on there. I'm probably, Mitchell always say, about 2/3 of the way through the second character through Ventus's run to Neverland. So
Neverland, 2/3 or maybe even good 3/4.
Yeah. So finish Terra, going through Ventus now, and then once done with that, finish up with Aqua, and then roll into 1 and down the list. Although watching him do the completely remade version of A Chain of Memories reminds me that that was terrible, and I don't ever want to do it again. So I might skip that one.
Oh God, I spent an hour and a half looking for just a specific map card, just because I needed one that had a specific value that I needed, and I didn't get it.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. No, it is completely remade though. They did it in the Kingdom Hearts 1 engine versus keeping the Game Boy. Oh, is that Game Boy Advance? I think it's Game Boy Advance style graphics that it had originally. I blame Mark for this. Yeah, I blame Mark for this, but I've been playing way too much of Idle Heroes of the Forgotten Realms. It's Idle Heroes, right?
Yeah, I get Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms.
Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms.
I get blamed for two things on your list today.
Yes, you do. You get blamed for two significant. Well, one significant time sink because I tried to pump way too much time into that during the winter thing, only to misread and have the snowflakes expire on me a day sooner than I thought they were. So I couldn't buy the chests for the characters because I waited a day too long. And then the other thing I'll blame you for, I guess I'll just jump to that, is played a few hours of PlayerUnknown's Battleground. it's a thing. It's fine. It was a good way to spend some time, but I wouldn't just jump on and play.
That's the best box quote I ever heard, I think, on this podcast.
8 out of 10, Gamersledge.com.
It's a thing. It's fine.
It's a way to kill some time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we got on, and Mark and I got on, and we played together for a while, and it was fine. It was fun. It was we were sneaking around, buying up a bunch of gear, finding a bunch of gear, so that the first time we ran into someone, we would die. But
which, to be fair, is every time I play Players Unknown Battlegrounds. But you did kill one person.
I did. I killed one person. That is more than I've killed in any other battle royale type experience. So. Yeah, actually, I surprised myself. I was waiting to fall over dead, and they fell over dead first. I got so excited, I kept shooting the body even after it was dead.
Mr. J. Nice, it was not me. He did not team kill me.
No, but we were standing in a farmhouse with him shooting me and me applying bandages because that was one of the daily goals.
That is correct. I did shoot him many times so that he could bandage up.
It's a little twisted, but hey, that's free experience points. Then let's see. So we did that. I've also been playing very, very, very casually some Pokemon Go. Getting the ability to get steps while not in the game. Really kind of just pick that back up for me. Although I don't get out and get to gyms and stuff often enough to get enough eggs. So I'm constantly running out of Poke eggs to throw in my incubator. And then I played a very, 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 very few, less than I played a PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds rounds of Super Smash Brothers on the Switch. I don't remember. Did you actually mention that in your rundown, Mitchell?
Actually, I don't think I did.
I don't think you did because you just finished all the rows on their single player mission, right? If you got all the characters.
Yeah, I completed every classic mode for every character.
So he's been playing a lot of that. On the TV front, I watched.
Did you unlock all the characters unlocked already?
Yeah.
He had all the characters unlocked before he came home from holiday break.
Damn.
I really just
I miss college.
Yeah, it's good to play while I'm watching something, like if it's something just kind of in the background.
Yeah, or when you're supposed to be doing schoolwork. I get it. No, I was there.
Yeah.
He's going to be an RA this next semester, so I imagine that'll be while he's at the desk duty. That's what it'll be.
What's really nice is if you go into World of Light, and then if you exit it, you'll unlock it. They'll give you the option to do one of the character unlock fights. So that's what I would do: is I would go into World of Light, unlock characters in there, and then I'd back out and then do it on fight there.
That works.
To kind of speed it up.
So yeah, I still suck at Smash Brothers, so I probably won't play too terribly much.
You almost got me a couple times.
Almost got you a couple of times. Yes, that is the story of my gaming career with Super Smash Brothers. I watched the entirety of Bodyguard on Netflix, starring Rob Stark's corpse. That was actually pretty good. I was kind of uncertain on how it was going to go until I saw the end, and then it got to the end, and I appreciated what it did at the end. So all in all, it was a good go. Finally got the basement set back up, so I've been getting back on the elliptical. So I picked a Continuum back up. That I still kind of amazes me that show managed to make it to 4 seasons, but it's Canadian, so can only expect so much. I watched Godzilla 2014, so saw that finally. That was a pretty solid movie. That was much better non-Toho attempt at a Godzilla movie than the 1990.
Which one was that? Is that the one with?
That's the good one. That's the one with the Japanese actor I love.
Watanabe.
Yes,
Ken Watanabe.
Ken Watanabe. And the
Is that the one they said that Bryan Cranston was in it?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was only in it for like 2 seconds.
Yes, yeah. And the sequel is coming out this year, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, and I had seen Kong Skull Island already, so which is in the same metaverse. So
hopefully it's better. Hopefully the sequel is better than the first one. I remember being really annoyed at the first one.
I enjoyed
That's
it.
the one with Matthew Broderick, isn't it?
No.
No.
That's the 1998 one.
That doesn't exist. We don't talk about that.
They did a lot of not showing anything in the movie. And
Yeah.
like they were just like, all right, they're about to fight. Oh, let's close the doors. We're just showing you from the human's perspective.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Like, that's what I told
don't
my
know.
dad while I was watching it. I was like,
Didn't seem that.
Wait, are you talking about the current one or the previous one?
Whatever the latest one
Experience
was.
a technical difficulty.
Oh no, yeah, I think Matt just fell off the
yeah,
internet.
Matt just, yeah.
There
Oh,
he
he's
is.
back.
He's back.
Maybe.
Okay, that was weird. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Anyway.
Now he's moving.
But yeah, so I was saying, like, what I told my dad was, like, this is like, I thought this was supposed to be a monster movie. It's like a war film with a monster subplot.
Right. That's kind of exactly how it came out. I was just like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I get what they're going for. But when you're signing up to do a monster movie, you want to see the monsters.
Well, you're not
do
going to have
something.
to worry about that about the sequel. Let's just put it
Yeah,
down.
the sequel,
It's all of them.
It's all
all
of
the
them,
monsters.
all the
Yeah, I
time.
know, because I'm probably not going to see it because they ripped me off the first time.
Oh my god, they
You're
didn't
one
rip-
of those,
It was a
I
good
think.
origin story. Come on, that's what it was.
It was a good let's not see the monster story. Is what it was.
I heard that complaint the entire time. It is not that direct. It doesn't sit there staring at the monster. I don't think there is any less Godzilla time in that than the original Godzilla movie.
And on top of
Cloverfield
that,
had more of the monster.
no, it did not.
Cloverfield
No
did
way
not
in hell.
You are being a
Cloverfield, you
crud
are
right
just
now.
yeah, you're being a
It did. I had the stopwatch going.
Yeah, that is far more effort than you would ever put into such a thing.
that is 100% accurate statement.
Matt is so dead right.
All right, so onward and downward or sideways. Watched Bird Box because I had to figure out what all this hubbub was about, and it's an okay movie. It's
Yeah,
not
it was fine.
great, but it's fine. Decent soundtrack. It's probably just the stuff they had lying around. They threw it together quick and put it on the backtrack of the movie, but it was fine. It wasn't. I mean, there's plot holes. Welcome to Hollywood. Saw Ready Player One. I have not read the book, so I got to enjoy the movie as is.
And what
I thought
did
it
you
was
think?
it was much better than I was expecting. It wasn't the second coming or anything, but it was a solid experience. It was fun.
No, the original book was a popcorn book to begin with.
Yeah.
The movie actually made some changes that I thought were actually better. I mean, because honestly, like if they did the first key unlocking the way they did in the book, that would have been a boring first third of the movie.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Dave. I still think the book is better overall, but I do not disagree or dislike any of the changes they made in the movie. And I actually really liked the whole thing with The Shining that wasn't in the book at all. That was really nice.
I thought that was great.
I was wondering about that as we were watching it. This doesn't seem like it probably was from the book, but
It wasn't,
I mean,
but it was a good way to simulate some of the things that they were talking about in the book. So
Right.
that worked for me. I'm just sad that, it wasn't the Dungeons and Dragons thing for where the first one was located, because that was a nice tie-in, but it's all right.
and man, for as much gold as that guy had to have paid for that Gundam upgrade, that should have lasted a lot longer.
Yeah, that was.
Well, no, he won it from the challenge. I don't think he had to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
And
It was still a little weak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you would have been very excited about the book's mech because it wasn't the Gundam in the book.
Right,
It was the Spider mech
Yeah, from the
Japan.
Japanese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which would have been amazing, but nobody would have known what it was. So I get that.
Well,
I mean,
three people
three of
would have
us-
known.
Yeah, 3 of us would have known what it is, but that's about it.
Though, if he was going to go with the Gundam, he should have gone with a much
Yeah, I knew this was coming.
stronger Gundam.
I knew
frame.
this was coming. Why didn't you go with this Gundam instead of the original Mark 1 Gundam? Yeah.
Well, I mean, just almost any other Gundam other than the Mark 1 would have worked better.
Should have been heavy arms.
Oh my
Death
God.
Scythe, come on.
Oh, come on. This is ridiculous. Um,
Which would you rather have, this or football?
Actually, it should have been that giant black Mark II that was in Zeta.
Big Zam?
What?
The Big Zam?
No, the other one. The one that the psychic piloted.
My Gundam knowledge is very limited.
I'm not even sure which one you're talking about. So okay.
I'll look it up.
Which
Okay,
one's the
you
one
do
with the
that.
whip? Isn't that the one by the psychic? Is the one with the whip?
The one with the whip is Miliardo.
Yeah.
And that's Wing, not Zeta.
Yeah. Whatever.
And he's a Char allegory.
Your face is a Char allegory. What else did you play or watch?
Let's see. And then I'm sure I'm missing some stuff, but the only other thing I can remember to write down was I watched finally the Doctor Who New Year's episode because I didn't do a Christmas episode this year. They did a New Year's episode. And much like the rest of the season, it was okay.
It was okay. Yeah.
I mean, it had really good parts and it had other parts. I'm just, my personal opinion is on this, I just frustrated that she hasn't developed her own character. She keeps piecemealing together previous Doctor's stuff in an attempt to make it a character, and that just...
Well, I figure that'll last for this season, and then she'll probably find her groove next season.
I hope so. I hope that's what they're going to do because, of course there were all the rumors that, she was upset that something and was going to leave, or the writer didn't like some reviews or something. I don't know. There was a whole thing where they were both going to leave, but apparently that was just bogus. So who knows if there's stress or not. I don't think the writing was as strong this season. But I did like having multiple companions. I like the group companion stuff. They don't do that too often, but I do like having more than just one companion along with, even though they're not called companions this season. Yeah. So am I forgetting anything else significant there? Blue-haired one?
But no, I'm good.
I did forget a couple things actually.
Okay, Baldwin.
I did finally get these the Switch controllers in. The Switch NES controller.
Which you can only play
Nice.
with Nintendo Entertainment System games, correct?
Not true.
So you can play it with Switch games.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to word this So you could play it with Smash.
I don't know how well it would work with Smash. I know it's possible, but limited.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do like the left B's and right B's.
Yeah, they're like I think people have like done it, but it's like not good. But I mean, you can do it with a whole bunch of other stuff, and they're also putting in functionality with a lot of other stuff, like the new Mario, the remake of the Wii U one that they're bringing out. Like that's gonna have full support of it. So, and you can do it like I'm playing it with the like they released an Atari one, like an Atari collection. So all that works on there. So I mean, it works for a lot
You
more.
wouldn't want to do anything 3D though without a stick, I wouldn't think.
I don't think so, no. But there's a lot of like indie stuff, a lot of the basic stuff. It all works with that. So it works for way more than people thought it would. It's not like it's locked to just that,
Okay, good.
and they're pretty good.
However, you can't use them well connected to the side, right? Because then the button layout just unusable.
I mean, technically, I think you can,
Well,
but it's
technically,
more like a
but
why would you?
Unusable, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the button layout is bad for that.
Okay, so this is the one I was talking about, the Psycho Gundam, apparently.
Oh, okay, that one.
The one that 4 pilots. I couldn't think of her name.
Right.
It's a good, like, 2 Gundams tall compared to the average Gundam.
But it is slow. But so is Mechagodzilla, so...
Let's see. My list is pretty extensive. Let's see. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. We actually got affiliate last night. We had 18 people watching, participating. We've got, 9 tonight. So thank you everybody for watching and being involved. We are... I've been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering Arena. Monday was hella scary for me because I'd been remote playing into my PS4 while I was gone for my trip, and that was working just fine. But the wife said that at one point it sounded like the PS4 was about to have a seizure. It was, airplaning so bad that like it was super overheated. So Monday when I went to go turn it on to stream, it would not come on. And I was like, oh, crap. But it wasn't giving me like a red light or a yellow light error. It just wasn't coming on, and I couldn't figure it out, and I ended up having to stream, so I went with Magic instead, but that game is so good. It's like literally going to a shop and playing somebody, except you don't have to deal with getting in your car and seeing people face to face. But it is very good in terms of playing. So I'm sure Dave actually is now interested in the game because you don't actually have to have any human interaction, yet you are playing against other people.
It definitely helps its case.
Yeah. And
but I am backlogged.
You can play it for free, which is crazy. They actually give you enough rewards for doing the free stuff that you can actually still get cards and packs of cards just by playing the game, which is kind of nice. That's a missed thing in this day and age. I did play some Ultimate Smash, enough to know that I still do not like playing Smash. Nothing wrong with the game, it's just not for me. And I also played Tetris Effect in VR for the first time. And
ooh, how'd that go?
It went very
Tell
well.
me.
It was
Talk
very
slow.
Yeah,
Talk slow.
So
Make it
it's
sexy.
everything that you have in the current game, which is already robust and beautiful and sensual, and then all the particle effects come right at your face, all over you can't get out of the way. So like when you finish a level, and like all the particles explode, that all explodes directly around you, into you. It's crazy and a little bit jarring, but still interesting. It also, I don't know how to explain this part. There's a bigger depth to the gameplay space. The grid's still there. You still see the grid, but what is like if it's one of the underwater ones where you've got the blue light at the top and you've got stuff going on at the bottom, that's a much deeper sense of space in that's happening than it is looking at the two-dimensional screen. Nothing other than that, nothing changes for the gameplay. You're still using a standard controller, and you're still cursing when you accidentally hit somewhere between left and up and shoot the thing to the bottom of the screen. So nothing's changed there. But the rest of it, it's just prettier, and the particle effects are more distracting, I would say. But since it only really happens at the end of the level, it's not too bad. That level with the guys, the fire level, where they're chanting and crafting.
Oh god, that one's got to be awesome.
It's amazing. It's like sensory overload. We put a bunch of people into it, and that was their... I mean, most of them failed the game because they were too busy looking around at everything. But there were a lot of people who did play that said it was almost kind of a sensory overload, which is crazy because the game is so relaxed most of the time that it's a little odd. But I mean, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I want to play more of that.
An interesting use of the VR on that one I hadn't considered that I heard somebody doing was they put friends or their other people in the VR headset, and then they played while watching the TV. The only problem was when people looked away to look at the stuff that was going on around the game board.
Yep.
He'd lose focus on the thing, so he couldn't play. But that was an interesting use of it. That because the PS4 can do to the screen as well as to the headset.
So we got a couple technological upgrades. Some stuff got unlocked once we actually hit affiliate, which I'm using in here now. So now we get cool notifications whenever anybody subscribes or follows or any of that good stuff. It pops up right on the screen. That's kind of cool. But the other thing is, Deuce, do you remember beforehand we were talking about my dog? He's right there. You can't see him.
And your hand isn't appearing either.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like some kind of Star Trek episode. Like my hands come here.
Phasing through the screen.
Come here. I don't know what's going to happen when I pick him up, if anything.
This is so creepy.
Whoa. That was trippy.
Alright, I'm freaking out right now. This is not good.
It's awesome. So I got this new camera extension that actually actively cuts out the background without a green screen. Because one of the things, I have a big green screen, but it's really inconvenient for anyone to do anything while I'm streaming. So I tried this, and it works really well. Like far better than I thought it would do at all. But anything behind me is just automatically removed. So that's kind of cool, including my dog. He's over there, but still. I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm using that, and then some of the other technological upgrades. The streams. The other thing we needed to talk about before we get to the news. Let's see. I've also been working on some new music things. I made out like a bandit for Christmas. One of the coolest things I got for Christmas. Oh, you guys can't see it, and I don't know that I can pull it all the way up. I got a giant MIDI keyboard for Christmas, so that's nice. And then I also got a music theory software for blatant blathering idiots like myself who don't know anything about how to build a song, or how to build melodies, how to build chords. This thing kind of does it for you. You can start with a vocal track, and then it will analyze the vocal track and say what key it is, what BPM it is, and then it will automatically lock you into the appropriate notes so you can't do any clunkers. And then you can actually play right on your keyboard or on a MIDI keyboard, and you can freeform it, or you can have it construct stuff for you, and then you modify it, whatever. It's really cool, and it wasn't terribly expensive, but it's a pretty amazing piece of software. And I was able to do a couple really high quality remixes within like 20 minutes of taking just some stems of some vocals from songs I like. So that's pretty cool. So I'm interested to use that to create some new original music. And then I was also lucky enough to get some board games that I played over the holidays. And the one that I would recommend for everybody watching and everybody on the panel is this one right here, which hopefully it will stay in existence. There we go. I got it now.
Yikes.
5-Minute Dungeon. This is narrated by the guy from Honest Trailers. It has an app that you download, and he's actually talking to you while you play the game. It's really good, but it is a cooperative game that up to, I think, 4 players... No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 4 players in the base expansion can play together. Wait, maybe it tells me on here. 2 to 5 players. 2 to 5 players in the base one. And there's not turns or anything. It's kind of a cluster. Everybody's playing at once, trying to complete the goals. But it's a lot of fun, and it gets harder and harder the longer you play. But it's really simple, and it's so it's called 5-Minute Dungeon. And then the other one, watch it magically disappears. And then the other one is a remake of an old one. Matt, you probably remember playing this one, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is Marvel specific. Yeah. It's not really compatible. I mean, you could play it with the other Munchkin sets, but why would you? Because it's Marvel themed. And they have 2 expansions, and I've got one of the 2 expansions. The other one's in the mail, so that'll be here also. This is amazingly fun, so if you get a chance, I do recommend it a lot. For things I binge watched all 3 seasons of The Good Place, which was a show that I'd never even heard of before I found it on Netflix to start. It's really well written. If you're a philosophy fan or a philosophy minor in college, it is super smart.
Or a Ted Danson fan.
Or a Ted Danson fan, or a Kristen Bell fan. Either one.
I heard it's really good. I can't wait to catch that show.
It's actually amazingly well written.
It's pretty good.
The final play, Star Trek Discovery, which is something that I was really down on, said that I really didn't want to watch. I actually binge watched that over the break as well. I actually kind of really like it. It's probably the darkest Trek that they've made yet, but it doesn't stray too far so far. We'll see if they, jump over the line or not. But it's definitely interesting.
You like Discovery. He likes Titans. The world is ending.
Yeah, I know. I still need to watch Titans. I just haven't had time to do so yet.
Did you wait? Did you subscribe, or are you just playing
I
on
didn't.
Yard?
No, neither of the above. I need to figure that out at some point, but I haven't.
I lost because my work schedule's been so busy lately, which actually just finally leveled off the other day. I didn't realize that Young Justice just started up.
See, and I never watched the original 2 seasons, so I feel like I should go do that.
What?
Dude,
I don't know what channel it was on before. I have no idea.
it was on.
Cartoon Network.
Yes,
Yeah.
That would be why I
But
know.
Before it went to shit.
It was on
Was it
Netflix
really?
for a long time, though,
it
wasn't
was on Netflix for a long time, and that's how they got. Basically, my thing is I think that Young Justice on Netflix is actually what made Warner Brothers think that they can do their own streaming service, and unfortunately, they were right. Because
pocketbook.
yeah, because I think that's why everybody signed up for it. They're just like, oh, Young Justice is coming back there, okay, but Titans actually wasn't bad. And I feel so dirty saying that. I know, but it finished up. I actually enjoyed the whole thing pretty much. I'm really looking forward to Doom Patrol, which is coming out in February. They did a little Doom Patrol like teaser, kind of like in the middle of Titans, and I'm really on board with that. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
And then the last thing that I did to my wife, which was horrible, but I'm also laughing about it, is I had found when I originally got sucked into The Voice, and I was watching all the voice stuff overseas, I found this Japanese show where they would take celebrities and put them in animal masks and make them sing. And it was called The Masked Singer, and it actually just started here in America like last week. And they got like Nick Cannon doing the hosting, and I hate Nick Cannon, but hey, whatever. But it's the same thing, and they have like, I don't know, Robin Thicke and Jenny McCarthy and Ken Jeong and somebody from the Pussycat Dolls as the 4 judges, and they try and figure out who it is, and if the person doesn't do well enough, then they get demasked at the end. But my wife is obsessed with this now because she's like, I have to know who's under that mask. I have to know. And so it's kind of amazing that something so very Japanese is resonating with her, and I'm hoping that it does good ratings. But yeah, I also
It's
saw
always.
it's always no. I don't think any of it's going to be Kevin Spacey this time. I did see Aquaman. I liked it a lot.
I haven't got a chance to see that yet, but I actually do want to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it in the theater. But my one buddy and I are planning on. We did see Spider-Verse, which was awesome.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I forgot about that.
I
Into
still
the
need to-
Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
Into the Spider-Verse. That's a good movie.
It was amazing. It literally probably was the best superhero flick they've done all year,
Was
which
it
is saying a
spectacular?
lot. It was amazing.
Was it spectacular?
Might have been spectacular,
Friendly neighborhood.
but
Sensational.
it definitely was amazing.
Friendly neighborhood.
Was there a web of it?
Yes.
There was plenty of webs.
Okay.
No Madam Web though.
Well.
So there was a bit of Superior.
Oh. Nice. So yeah, that's it for me.
Although it did have one of the best stingers at the end of a superhero movie, so you definitely have to watch past the credits.
And there is a stinger for Aquaman, so do make sure you stay. Mr. J Nice says, how could you like Aquaman? Because it wasn't bad. Trust me, I've seen Batman. I've seen Batman vs Superman. It's bad. This was not.
Whoa.
It was. It was not. Like, it wasn't the best superhero movie ever, but for what it was, actually, I really thought this was their Thor. This was the DC's
Nice.
space opera kind of Thor thing. The visuals, even though it was all underwater, I mean, yeah,
Totally good with that.
it had some corny lines, and it did have some like some of the things that they tried to make him funny did not work, but it wasn't like enough to go like, oh, this movie sucks. It just wasn't I mean, it was above average, and that's about where I'll stop at it. I wouldn't say it's the greatest movie ever made. It was fun
I'd
for
be
2
looking
hours.
for a popcorn flick that had like some good action in it. Like if we get that, I don't think that's too much to ask.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it's Thor in terms of quality. I'm saying it's Thor in terms of the space opera visuals kind of thing. And the way that they portray Atlantis, it's pretty awesome. I liked it. I have no problem with it. So, Mr. J. Nice did not like Aquaman. If you have not figured out by now, he's oh, what happened? Matt's here twice.
Yay!
Yeah, I mean, as far as like, I still wouldn't mind seeing it, but it's not like that. Like, I don't need to see it. Like Aquaman's just a tough character as it is, but it looks like they kind of like pulled off a lot of stuff that they shouldn't have been able to pull off.
The thing that distracted me as a longtime reader is that the person that they got to play his brother is the guy who played what's his name from Watchmen. No, it's not. It's not. Never mind. He does play something in Watchmen, but it's not that. But he looks exactly like Aquaman, and Khal Drogo does not, and it's really weird.
Nice,
but still good. So yeah, that's
Horseman turned fishman.
Yeah, I mean, there are worse things you could spend your money on in terms of what's in the theater today. So, yeah, shall we do some news? Let's do some news. Let's see. So, if you want to follow our news feed, you can do so at any time by heading over to twitter.com/Gamersledge. So that's what I'm going to pull up here in the window. Oh, helps if I type on the right keyboard. Twitter.com/Gamersledge. Does anyone have, before we get to the actual feed itself, does anyone have any burning news items that they want to come? Matt is apparently having all kinds of problems with his laptop again.
Apparently.
I feel bad.
Or my laptop is hogging all the internet. One or the other.
It kind of happens when you're not on the podcast, so I don't think it's that.
Yeah, it's probably him then.
Oh yeah, the first thing we should talk about before I actually get to the news on the screen there is we should talk about our streaming schedule. We have set a new streaming schedule. It will be Monday through Wednesday on twitch.tv at 7 p.m. Daily. And then Thursdays will be a pre-recorded piece that will be posted to YouTube and Twitch. So we won't have necessarily a stream. We may stream on Thursday. I'm just not committing to a stream on Thursdays. It just depends. But the games that we will be playing, you'll be able to find on the Twitch website, which this year we are doing PUBG, Magic Arena, Battlefield 5, Dungeons & Dragons Online, Star Trek Online, Anthem, and Division 2. There may be more, but that's what we've got planned so far for what we know of releases from this year. I'm sure that'll change for the back half, but that'll probably take us through the front half of 2019 in terms of games that you'll be able to see us play on the stream. We also did make affiliate, so if you do want to support us, you can do so by clicking that subscribe button, or you can head to our Patreon, and we'll tackle all that stuff towards the end of the show. But let's jump to the news. And Matt died again. Poor Matt. I feel bad for him.
Yeah. He seems semi-permadead.
Yeah, he does seem kind of... Marvel wants to follow Black Panther's success with a Master of Kung Fu martial arts film. And I'm all for this. I would love to see a high-profile Marvel movie with martial arts involved.
I thought this was a done deal. I thought this was like happening.
So like Iron Fist?
No. No. They have already done Iron Fist, and put that on the shelf. It's going to be a Shang-Chi film. That's the best part. Only if you're a hardcore nerd would you know who Shang-Chi is, because he was not popular in the Marvel Universe, but he was he was the 70s answer to blaxploitation films. He was the Chinese martial artist series, and it was not bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I'd like to see them do some kind of treatment on it that way. That would be pretty interesting. Overkill's The Walking Dead did not do well. Surprise. And so the parent company, which is Starbreeze Studios, has filed for reconstruction bankruptcy. The funny part there is Starbreeze actually is one of the VR headsets manufacturers, so I don't know if that impacts them as well, but we'll see. Matt, when was the last time we did the podcast? We've done early December stuff, right?
We did one right before the holidays, so 20-something.
Okay.
Late teens, early 20s.
Oh, The Orville is back, and I have not watched that either. I need to get on that.
Yeah, I haven't watched
Yeah, I have that on DVR too. I can't wait to watch that. I was gonna watch it tonight, but you guys were just like, "Come on the podcast." You never come on the podcast, and I'm just like, I need to drink tonight, so why not?
Yeah. Also, I didn't mention.
All right, we are officially drunk, by the way.
My wrestling thing. I did watch NJPW's Wrestle Kingdom, which is like their WrestleMania. It was fantastic, and now there's going to be a new promotion to possibly rival the WWE. Yeah, here we go. So there's 300. Did you get into that Dreams closed beta?
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is empty.
Oh, boo. I signed up for it today.
I understood all of that reference.
All right, Steve.
I signed up for it yesterday, and I'm hoping I get in the second wave. This is actually one of the biggest pieces of news. Japan has not only made it illegal to sell unauthorized game keys, they've equivocated it to stealing, which is great. I have no problem with that. But they've also said that anything that tampers with or modifies the live memory of a game is now deemed illegal. So, in other words, action replays are illegal in Japan now.
Game Genie, for those of you who are
Game
old.
Genie. Yeah, Game Genie as well. Yeah. All of those are now illegal in Japan, which is crazy. That seems...
Esports might be going downhill.
No more hacks.
No more hacks.
Have they been... Can I ask a serious question about that? Because I know you mentioned that before. And I was actually curious about how... I haven't heard of, Game Genies and everything being used since, the PS2 era. Are they still really a thing?
They are there, but here not so much.
Are they popular?
In Japan, yes.
Okay.
Well, think
last
about
time I saw one was for the original DS, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Pokemon
literally
Manhattan.
the last time I used one was actually for a very specific purpose on the PS2. Was for either running or something having to do with Fire Pro Wrestling on the PS2.
Well, keep in mind that this also basically bans modding of consoles. Because there's
Look, you don't tell me how to live my life.
Well, that's what Japan's doing.
So Dave, don't move to Japan.
Well, the last time I modded a console was for my Sega Saturn. And that was specifically for Fire Pro Wrestling.
See, it was PS1 for me. It was for the Japanese version of Dance Dance Revolution.
That's much more sad than my reason.
Awesome.
Dude, Fire Pro Wrestling 6-man scramble. I'm sorry. I win. All right, I win that one.
Actually, I take it back. I did have my Dreamcast modded too because I got it so that I could play the Japanese wrestling game that came out that had Gianto Baba.
Oh, that was that Virtual Pro?
Yeah, I think it was Virtual. No, it wasn't Virtual Pro because that was the one still on Nintendo 64. It was Virtual Pro Wrestling and Virtual Pro Wrestling.
Oh, what was the one I had it? I had it. I know what it is.
Dreamcast.
No. I had it, but I don't know what it is. That's why I'm not saying it.
Yeah. It was Giant Graham 2000. All Japan.
Yes, Giant Graham 2000 featuring Virtua. That's where I got the Virtua thing.
Yeah.
Because it had a couple Virtual fighters in it.
Yep. And that game was good too. But that's the last time that I ever got to hear somebody shout Gianto Baba. That's great. Sorry.
We all need a daily dose of that.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
I'm surprised that's not your ringtone.
If I could find the sound of him screaming it from the game, I totally would.
All the Japanese I know is because of Japanese wrestling games.
Yep.
Ichiban!
But yeah, that's been something that they've been dealing with, and the modding business is actually very large in Japan. So
I was just trying to say, is surprising. That because a lot of recent consoles haven't needed it?
Yeah, but not everybody's on the. Keep in mind, console sales in Japan are almost non-existent now. So there's a huge influx of back consoles that are still being passed around.
Gotcha.
So that's interesting. Matt, you play Stardew Valley.
I have played that, yeah.
It has a Battle Royale mod now.
I have no idea why that would be a thing.
Last Farmer Standing. Ode to the death.
Is that official or is that...
No, that's official. That's official.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I don't know why either, but I think it's hilarious, and you should play it and tell me how it is.
I never actually finished that. I never finished my community center.
BioWare released the Lost Arcanist mission, which is actually what we played in the closed beta that I couldn't talk about, and I enjoyed very much. And they have that full walk through on IGN right now. So if you're curious about how that might play, that's up now. VR headsets reach 4 million sold, which is not great because it was 2 million 2 years ago. So they're not selling at a huge, rate.
Is that all total?
That's total, yeah. Total market share.
So that includes PlayStation and everything.
Yeah.
That's sad.
This metric is actually PC only, I think.
Yeah,
so I think
this is PC
VR
only.
is 4 million by itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let me look here. Yep, PC only for this one. So 4 million PC VR, so that's Oculus and Vive. Yeah, that wouldn't even consider mobile, I don't think. So, yeah, that's just that. Oh, nope, I don't want to leave the chat. I do that all the time. Close that tab. There we go. Oh,
yeah, don't do that.
So,
buttons. What?
All the buttons.
So, Marvel Games...
Why is there a face on one of the crotches? See? Right there.
That's the tagline for the person that wrote it. It's just poor placement of the background image.
Oh, okay.
But thank you for bringing that up because that is hilarious.
I got a little scared there, and I'm like, well, I don't remember that member of the Fantastic Four. It's Crotchface McGillicuddy.
Well, it's Franklin based on the silhouette, so that's,
The Thing, too.
Hey, he can modify reality if he wants a crotch on his face. Or face on his crotch.
Other way around.
Yeah. Strike that, reverse it. So Marvel actually changed their Twitter account name to be Marvel with a 4 instead of an A. It looks like they're possibly teasing a Fantastic Four game. Matt, you're the resident Fantastic Four aficionado. Does that excite you?
It could. It depends on what it is. All I saw today was they put the thing in Champions, one of the mobile games, which I don't play any of those, so I didn't really pay that close of attention. There was a Fantastic Four grilled cheese on the Marvel Food Channel thing, and then the thing being in the one of the mobile games. So far, whatever it is, they're doing a very slow roll. Obviously, they just did the big issue. I forget what the number was, but it was Ben Grimm marrying Alicia finally. So that was the big last thing that happened in the comics. So unless they're actually teasing, it seems like it's game related. There's also Marvel Games tweeted at Insomniac's account that something fantastic was coming to Marvel Spider-Man, to which all they replied with was giant eyes. So we still don't know what that is. Presumably it'll either be Bombastic Bagman or the Future Foundation Spider-Man suit, or possibly both.
I'm going for Bagman. Bagman would make sense.
It would.
I can't stand the Fantastic Four. To me, they're boring as hell.
Hey, they just got done rebuilding the multiverse. Give them a break.
Yeah, sure, whatever. But all that's going to be rewritten this year. Don't you know that? That's what Marvel's saying.
Well, I don't know. War of the Realms is their event this year, so I don't know how that would impact that. But
no, that's literally the tagline. The tagline for all of them is the history of the Marvel Universe will change forever, or will have been rewritten forever for war. Oh, damn it. I keep typing on my laptop, which is on my lap, instead of on the computer, which is running the rabbit. War of
the Realms has been building up in Thor for years now.
I know. I was just saying that the other day. The War of the Realms thing. Just been built up for years. Like, just do it already. Sorry. I'm so over all these giant crossover events.
Yeah.
Like, they need to just bring everything back and just have, like, little personal stories again.
Yeah, I mean, Thor's been...
Not everything has to be a crossover. Not everything has to be an universe-shaking event.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that after all the build-up, it's not just going to be a Thor thing, but,
Well, it speaking of disappointments, it looks like Star Trek 4 has been shelved. And the reason that we know that is because the director is now directing something else instead of Star Trek 4. And it was mentioned in an interview that the Star Trek 4 had been shelved, probably because they couldn't come to terms with Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pine to reprise their roles. And without Kirk in this one, I don't think that's going to happen. So that's a little sad, but I'm kind of hoping they go back to the Prime universe instead of continuing on with the JJ verse.
They've mucked around with the timeline enough. They'll just have a infant Jean-Luc Picard take command of the Enterprise, and
hey, we don't know what's coming up in that Picard series. That could very well happen.
you skipped your chance to geek out about Kenny Omega. What did you do that for?
I'm trying to be chill about it, but I'm super excited about this new promotion, All Elite Wrestling, that the Young Bucks and Cody formed with the Khans from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not a lot of people follow wrestling, but I mean, to be fair, the Khans have twice as much money as the McMahons ever had their entire lives already. So I expect there to be a TV deal. I expect them to sign people. They're talking about revolutionizing the industry by offering health care to wrestlers, which right now all wrestlers are statused as independent contractors. They have to pay their own travel fees, their own healthcare fees, etc. And one of the first things that they're doing is actually talking about paying for travel, paying for healthcare, and they're promoting women's wrestling as well, and they're paying the wrestlers the same. It's not a sliding scale. No other company does that. Women's wrestling is paid far less in most organizations. So this has a chance to actually change the landscape for the wrestlers themselves, and the fact that it's being written and produced by wrestlers as opposed to McMahon, who makes everything about himself and his family. I'm actually super excited about this. Kenny Omega has confirmed that he is not re-signing with New Japan. New Japan wants to continue working with him. And the funny part about this is that before January 6th, the day before this news story broke, the question was, would New Japan work with this new company, which is called AEW, All Elite Wrestling? And the answer was no, because they have a partnership with Ring of Honor, which is another American promotion. And they didn't want to step on the toes of Ring of Honor by working with this other company. Well, now that Omega says that he's not going to continue with New Japan, and he's basically already said, I'm going to AEW, suddenly New Japan might be open to working with AEW. So to me, that's an interesting background thing that's happening. And if they did work with NJPW, that'd be good for everybody, because NJPW is super strong right now. They're the number 2 promotion in the world. So I would like to see them continue getting Japanese exposure, but also bringing some of those Japanese wrestlers stateside as they continue to grow would be good for everybody. So there's my...
To make an analogy, Ian was saying AEW is akin to what Image did in comics.
That's exactly correct. That is a great analogy. Basically, it was, Image was revolutionary because it was the creators making their own company instead of having to work for one of the big two. These guys have struck out on their own, found funding, and they have an ideology of what they think wrestling should be. And I think they're going to be very successful because WWE programming is the worst and has been the worst for over a year and a half. And nobody, even the diehard fans, nobody likes the product anymore because they don't write it for people smartly. And I'm not going to say that everything that I've seen, the Elite do in their storylines is the best thing ever, but it's done in a way that's entertaining, and I have no problems with it. I'm interested to see where they go. I think they have a chance to actually change the landscape for the workers, the people that are putting their bodies on the lines by doing this stuff day in and day out. So I'm interested to see where it ends up. I'm not going to talk about that. I do want to talk about this. I'm not going to go deep into it, but we've got a news story here. Somebody wrote a letter to Jeff Kaplan, who's the lead designer on Overwatch, about the inclusion of characters, and he took the time to write her a response back that is very, very good and interesting. And when people talk about Activision changing Blizzard, this is the type of thing that I fear for, because what he wrote was, in my opinion, not what you would get from a typical game developer. He responded in a way that was very human and not about money, and I'm afraid Activision is going to muck the entire Blizzard operation up, but we'll see. I have not looked at news today. Any breaking news today, Matt?
Something just popped across my feed that I was looking at. Title, it's a Kotaku article. Title is Xbox Game Pass quests give you money for earning achievements. Today, Microsoft announced a new slate of quests for Game Pass. I've not done same Game Pass before, but apparently it has quests. Earning certain achievements in particular games available through the monthly subscription service will net you reward points, which apparently you can then use on the store There will be 7 quests worth of available in January, worth 2,100 possible reward points. Killing 100 enemies in Metro Redo. Let's see. 1,700 points gets you a $1.25 Xbox gift card. So it's not exactly getting you a lot of stuff, but I guess it might be a loot box or a skin for something, I guess. So that's an interesting thing.
So Dave, you are a staunch anti-trophy person. Trophy/achievement person.
I am. That is a very true statement.
If they paid you to get achievements/trophies, would that change your viewpoint at all?
It would actually piss me off more.
You'd be making money, but you'd be ticked off about it.
I would.
It's mildly ironic.
Unless they allowed me to trade it in directly for bourbon. then we could talk.
Xbox bourbon. If you platinumed a game and they gave you a bottle of bourbon for it, would you platinum a game?
Yes.
I think we have our official show alcoholic.
And I'd feel really bad about it.
But you'd have bourbon, so would it be okay?
But it would be they did a small batch kind of thing where it's just you get the special bourbon. I'd be like, you know something? All right, we'll play.
Okay.
Don't use platinum bourbon.
But seriously, man, that's I don't like that idea at all.
Deuce, I don't know where you stand on trophies/achievements.
Be on the right side of the law. Be on the right side of history here.
There is no right side.
Yeah, it is my side.
That got participation trophies, and so I like to earn mine.
Yeah, but
it's personal.
Do you think that trophies are a good thing, or do you think that they are unnecessary fluff?
I like how Xbox has the achievement aspect where it's point based, and you can use it to get silly aesthetic customizations for your avatar. For PS4, you should at least be getting credit towards other games.
So it sounds like you're pro, and you like the idea of getting paid for it.
Yeah.
I heard that. Matt, where do you fall on this?
I
don't disappoint me.
You're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I think you're going to be sort of.
I think we all by now know certain aspects of my personality, and yeah. I'm reasonable about it, though. I think personally, I assess early on whether or not a platinum trophy is even an achievable thing, and if it's not, then I just play for the fun. I just play through. If something like God of War and Spider-Man, honestly, were incredibly easy platinums given the magnitude and caliber of those games. Spider-Man's platinum trophy rate is something at 12%, which is the average is less than 1%. So 1 out of 10 people that own the game have.
There's a chance that I could even do that after I get the basement back in order.
Pretty much, yeah. Even you could platinum Spider-Man.
Which is bad because I've actually purposely stopped playing games so I wouldn't accidentally platinum them. Platinum. Can't even get that one too.
No.
Aluminium
the games. But seriously, it's I don't know. I just hate that dangle. This means something kind of thing. It doesn't. It's stupid.
Well, what about the platinum bourbon?
Just playing for football. If they were doing that, that's different. But seriously, the stuff's supposed to be fun, and that just takes the fun out of it for me.
What does it? If you're fighting a boss and it was a particularly intense battle, and then the little trophy pops at the end, you're like, Yeah, okay, I did that. There's my little bangle for accomplishing that.
I don't need that. I just want to play the game and experience it, man. I'm a total like hippie now because I'm like old with this stuff. And it's just like, man, I just want the experience, man.
No, you know what? This doesn't hold water with me at all. Because if you truly believe that, then you would take pictures just for the sake of taking pictures, not to post them on Facebook, so that everybody can see them and comment on them.
No, but I want to force my art on people. That's different. Yeah, that's not.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not doing it for likes. I'm just like, I like this, so I want you to have to suffer through it too. That's different.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
So, Mitchell, I already know you're pro trophy, right?
Mostly, yeah.
And
I mean, if I got paid for it too, that'd be a bonus.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Free money.
He's a kid. He doesn't get it. He doesn't like back in the day. Like we used to like put quarters in machines.
Walk uphill both ways to school.
Wow.
Seriously?
Really?
Defender, man, used to last 12 seconds per quarter. You kids don't know the struggle. That's like paying.
Oh my God.
That's paying $50 to play a game for 2 minutes.
Yes,
Our local arcade for a single round of Tekken is $1.25.
Exactly. And that's the way it used to be, and we were cool with that.
But this is why
There's no
home
reason you
consoles
should be
came
cool with
into
that.
being.
I know there's no reason we should be cool with that, but I'm saying it helps to have that in your background so you have some appreciation. This whole, like, we need to give you achievements just for playing.
Well, I don't need the achievements.
But
I
that's
don't need
not
You
why,
need to
okay.
beat into the ground and appreciate it.
Okay, Telltale, yes. Telltale games, which are the majority of my platinums, yes, I agree, those are participation awards.
Yeah.
However, most games, at least on the PlayStation side, do not do that. They actually put the trophies in there so that you play the game in a way different than they may have actually intended. Like, you have to go out of your way to do things. Now, granted,
Like one of the
Go ahead.
Like one of the ones for Kingdom Hearts Final Mix is two of them actually. One, you can't change your equipment at all, and then the other one is that you can't go through the game using any continue. Meaning that every time you die, you'd have to load back to your most recent save. Which, I mean, yeah, you guys are into that because you guys are back a bit. But I mean,
I remember when game cartridges didn't have saves or
Yeah.
codes.
There is that.
They didn't.
Oh,
We used to have to like pause the thing and hope nobody like shut it off on
Oh
you.
man, you put something in front of the red LED on the NES so your parents wouldn't turn it off while you were like mid Super Mario Brothers or something.
That's why I was glad I had my Genesis in the room hooked up to a friggin' black and white TV. My first Genesis was hooked up to a black and white TV. How
Still-
sad is that?
Still, my biggest horror story was my 500-page memory card that glitched and ate my 450-hour Final Fantasy VII save. I thought I was going to murder anyone in Reach. All of it.
These things failed all the
Well, see, but I didn't know that until it happened to me, and then I swore it off, and I never used a multi-page memory card again. Which technically I think would be illegal in Japan now as well.
Nice.
Only if it's virtual though.
Well, no, because it's tricking the hardware into thinking that there are more game save states than there actually are.
No, it's multiple chipsets, so it's just more than one chipset per card. So it's not trickery; it's just formatting.
I don't think so, because it's not like they put multiple chips on it. They just have virtual pages. There's still only one memory card. And one
Right,
memory
but
card chipset. It's just a larger storage than what the available what am I trying to say? The available produced by the manufacturer.
yeah, it's adjusting what the 0 bit for the memory is, but
Wow.
yeah.
Back away from the webcam. All right.
Okay, so here's something we need to get to because I have a feeling Mark is going to have an aneurysm.
Okay. Great.
Then I'm all for it.
The title of this article: Ubisoft abandoned Steam for Epic Games Store with the Division 2 PC release. So Ubisoft on the PC for Division 2 will only come out on the Epic Game Store. And they're also going to be removing other games that have not yet been specified from Steam and putting them exclusively on the Epic Game Store. It also looks like potentially all the future games, or at least major games this year, they're not specific, but it's kind of indicating that the games coming out from Ubisoft this year will only be on the Epic Game Store.
That makes good business sense for them. And while it's not great for consumers, I mean, it's still not this crap that EA and Activision are doing. I'm really not anticipating seeing Anthem's release because I know they're going to do this crap again where
What are they going to do?
Where they're going to stagger the release dates. If you're subscribed to Origins, then you get it first. And then if you bought the King Kamehameha edition, which I did, then you get in after that. And then if you just buy the normal version, you get in a week later. It's a bunch of bullcrap, and I hope they stop that. If all they're doing is switching platforms, I mean, the reason that they're going from Steam takes 30%, just like Apple. And that's a lot, especially for AAA developers to stomach. Epic is only touting like something like 5%, 7% as their cut. That's just good business sense for them. Great. And then the high profile nature of the game brings more people to the Epic Game Store. I got no problem with that per se. It's if they do this other crap that's really dumb. Go ahead, Mitchell.
I've only got a problem because it's with Epic, and Epic has Fortnite, and I don't want to support anything to do with that cancer.
But you have to keep in mind that Epic is not just Fortnite. Epic is a full game engine that most of the games that you're playing are actually developed in.
I miss Paragon.
That was sacrificed to the sacrifice.
It was sacrificed to the.
It was.
I remember going to the PSX where they had this giant Paragon booth, and it was Paragon is the next big thing, and there was nobody at the Paragon booth. And then, like a week later, they announced it was being sacrificed to the Fortnite juggernaut.
The elder Fortnite gods.
Yeah.
Oh. Something else that we haven't brought up that I'm actually really interested in, although I don't know when I'll be able to get around to it. There is going to be a Resident Evil 2 remake demo dropping sometime this week, probably Friday, by the looks of it. And
minutes.
you will have you can play as much of the game as you can get through in 30 minutes, and then you're done.
So it's like the Octopath Traveler one.
Yeah.
Well, except that was 3 hours and actually got you to experience a good amount of the game and figure out if you liked it and wanted to buy it or not. Whereas this is 30 freaking minutes. Some poor schmuck kid is going to open the demo, and then his mom's going to come in and say, "Will you take the trash out?" And then half his game time is going to be gone by the time he takes the trash out and comes back. Or,
took the trash out first, not an issue.
Or
you could just suspend the game.
I don't know. Sometimes
you shut your dirty mouth, Mitchell. Quit poking holes in my analogy, damn it.
But yeah, it's not a lot of time. So, and if it watches the way the other ones I've seen does, the counter starts the minute you kick off. So you don't even get like the load screens. It's you get 2 minutes burned off just with load screens and stuff before the game even actually starts.
Oof.
So,
Wicked Warlock, thanks for following. You are a rock star.
So apparently one of the Shopkos nearby is going to go out of business. If you know what a Shopko is, then you're more Midwestern than most.
Yeah. Well, if you don't have any other pressing news,
I'm not finding anything now.
Well, then this is the part of the show where we like to thank all the folks that make Gamersledge possible and who subscribe to the channel. It allows us to buy equipment, allows us to buy games to review, things of that nature. If you head over to patreon.com/Gamersledge or you subscribe here on the Twitch feed, we actually put everybody's name in the end credits, and we appreciate your support. But we do like to take this point in time, if you have subscribed at the $5 level and above, to thank personally every single person who does that. So thank you, Justin times 2, who is a god among men, Naomi, John, June, Lexi, Pat, Dave, Nashok, Tracy, Michael, the other Dave, and Turo. Thank you so much for your support. We can't do what we do without you. And you can get your name on every show we do for as little as $1 a month over at Patreon, or click that subscribe button on Twitch, since we are now affiliates and we can access all that cool stuff. Also, as I mentioned before, our news feed, if you want to see what's going on during the week, you can hit it over at twitter.com/Gamersledge, and then of course our Facebook page, facebook.com/Gamersledge, and our website, gamersledge.com, as well. And then our YouTube channel is posted right up at the top of the screen. It's youtube.com/c/gamersledge.com, all spelled out, one word. That's going to bring us then to final thoughts. So we'll start our old final thought rundown over here with Mitchell. Mitchell, final thoughts.
I forgot to mention that I got to season 2 of Game of Thrones since I started watching that recently.
Oh, nice. How are you liking it so far?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Rather interesting. But final thought, yeah. I do not enjoy Chain of Memories. I don't.
And for good reason.
But I must play it, because it's the only one I haven't.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is, but I must.
And it's okay. You need to be able to let it go. Just watch something on YouTube. Some other sucker played it, and you can just watch the highlights and be okay. Let it go. Just let it go.
I'm gonna start singing.
Yeah.
Everything's on YouTube now. You don't have to play what you don't want to play. You don't have to suffer through a bad game anymore. That is the big technology today.
See, and I'll be honest, I really have been like debating picking up the $100 Kingdom Hearts 3 package that has all the games in it. But then I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to play through it. I'll wait till it's on super sale. When it gets down to like $20-$25 for the whole saga, then I'll buy it. Until then, I'll wait. But then I still probably won't play those middle games because I just can't. Deuce, final thought.
What kind of weird, twisted universe do we live in where Aquaman's the cool one?
That started with Brave and the Bold.
No, I think he means in the movie universe, because we got Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and that's it.
In the cartoon universe, that started with... Well, actually, you know something? He wasn't too bad in Justice League. But when they did the remember the Brave and the Bold cartoon?
Yeah.
Aquaman was played by... oh my god, who plays Bender?
Michael
DiMaggio.
John DiMaggio. Sir John DiMaggio played Aquaman in Brave and the Bold, and he was hilarious because it was just completely over the top, just full of bravado and everything, and that just made it completely it made me love Aquaman as a character. He's awesome.
Also, it's hard to dislike Jason Momoa.
It is.
It is actually tough. You should.
Even when the jokes or the corny lines fall flat, he's still Jason Momoa at the end of the day. And he just seems more Jason Momoa in that he's this big guy who's married to Lisa Bonet, who's kind of awkward. But has all the confidence in a world when he's throwing a hatchet.
He actually had two voice actors, John DiMaggio and Ted McGinley.
In Brave and the Bold?
According to what I'm looking at, which was for Mightfall, whatever Mightfall is.
Weird.
Maybe DiMaggio wasn't available for that one. Dave, final thoughts.
Hi.
And we have started the podcast again. Hello, everybody.
Dave has
The
brain
Gamersledge podcast.
I've recently been playing the Switch. No. Yeah, no, I'd like to thank the Switch, actually, for being my sole gaming device at the moment.
because it's the only thing that doesn't have trophies or achievements on it.
I do appreciate that. I do appreciate its lack of trophies, but I also appreciate its flexibility, which is what I've needed with my work schedule and life schedule right now. So it's been working out just great. So I appreciate that. Love you, Nintendo. Thank you.
Oh, by the way, that's the news story we didn't cover. Nintendo says they're probably getting out of the console business and will only be producing games for mobile phones from now on.
Yeah, it was one dude saying that. There's there's no way. It is a cash. They're sitting on cash cow.
It was one dude who happens to be the CEO of the company right now.
CEO of like which division?
The company.
Never. I'm not convinced. I think he's just
got-
floating out
what?
there. I think he's just floating out there to see if it's like a viable idea and see if like people like attack him on it. And it's probably going to come down like the board's probably going to be like, "What are you, insane?"
What are you talking about? Their board members don't even know what video games are.
This is
Have
true.
you not paid
Yeah.
attention to this?
But you know what they do know? You know what they do know?
Money.
They know they're making money, and they know why they're making money. They might not care how they're making money. They might not know anything about how they're making money, but they know they're making money, and they know why they're making money. And they like to make money. That's what board members do.
Can you say making money some more, please?
Making money some more, please.
There we go. Matt, final thoughts.
Do more switcher. I have to split this because I hadn't seen this thing here, but Dave, I think we've commiserated on Star Wars Resistance in the past, have we not?
Oh yeah, that's awful.
Yeah. Well, it looks like it's the second half of the season picks up here next week. Apparently, the trailer sets exactly where it's taking place in the timeline. I haven't watched it yet. Apparently, the trailer's actually pretty good, but I can't imagine they're doing much to salvage the show. But also, pretty much confirming a season 2 is in the works.
Yeah.
So, well, it looks
I
like
couldn't even get my son to watch it. He was like,
I forced my way through it so far. We'll see how it goes.
like I feel bad. Like I'm trying to get him into Star Wars, like without doing the proper movies yet, because like I don't think that'll. I mean, that's not going to capture a 3.5-year-old. So like I'm trying to get him into something. I thought Resistance was it. Like I thought that was the way in, and he was like, "Daddy, this is boring," and I'm like, dude, you're right. Like this is boring. I don't even want to sit through this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they
so-
really kind of made bank on the ships at the beginning, and the ships are barely in the show.
I know. That's like, people were like talking and stuff, and I was like, I can't deal with this.
People are talking. You know, that's a terrible, inefficient form of communication. But the other thing I have to bring up though is I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but oh gosh, 6-ish years ago, maybe a little bit longer. A gentleman I'd never heard of took over writing on one of the lower tier books Marvel has, Thor. And that gentleman's name is Jason Aaron.
Yes.
And the minute you started reading his Thor, because when he started, he was writing Thor in 3 periods. He was writing Viking era Thor, modern Thor, and King at the End of Time Thor, all in one book.
Yes.
And you kind of got the vibe that he really, really, really just wanted to write a Conan book.
Nice.
He's writing a Conan book. Issue 1 dropped last week. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I'm anticipating it's a good thing. Yeah, I don't know if in on any of this. The minute Marvel started talking about doing a Conan book, reviving that license, Jason Aaron tweeted out the entire novel set on his desk. It's like right on the bookshelf next to his desk. He has all of the Conan novels sitting there. You can tell they're heavily read. The bindings are all bent and stuff, and he tweeted that out, and they worked it out, and he is writing Conan the Barbarian. I believe that's what it's called, Conan the Barbarian, I think. Book for Marvel. And they did... I don't know. The person who's doing the main covers isn't the one who did the book covers, but I think a couple of the variant covers are actually by the artist or by someone who is a dead ringer for the artist from the novels. So that's got that Boris Valerio or whatever the heck his name was type style to it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That guy was awesome.
So I'm promoting a book I haven't read yet, so that is always dangerous. But everything I've read of Jason Aaron's since then I have adored. So I have a hard time believing that this will not be simply amazing. It is his dream job, so that does actually make it kind of high risk. Yeah. But we'll see where this goes because I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, my final thought for tonight is to join us next week, because next week we are doing Game of the Year awards. Or
so you think?
No, we're doing it next week, hell or high water. By the way, all of you received an email already with the nomination forms, so please do fill those
Actually,
out.
you didn't send it to me.
I didn't send it to you? Oh my god, how did I not send it to you? No, I totally sent it to you. I'm looking at this.
No, you didn't.
Now. Hold on. I'm
I
looking.
checked it, and then I forwarded it to him.
Well, that's good, because that's silly if I didn't. Now I don't. Game of the Year votes. Here we go. Oh. Thank you.
You know what I can't wait to do? Actually, did we get to my final thoughts? Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
My final thought, actually, for real, is...
You can't go back?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, practice final thoughts.
This is America. Starlink updated, and there's a whole bunch of new stuff in it, so I'm going to go back and play that even more than I already have.
I totally didn't send it to you, Matt. I'm so sorry.
I was looking for him, like, which email address did he send it to, Mitchell? He looks in there. He didn't.
But you do have my responses.
Yeah, I do have your responses. Thank you. You're the first one, so congratulations. Good job, Mitchell.
You responded already?
Yeah, he's already got his nominations in for me.
Dude, you're supposed to wait until like the last minute to make him sweat. That's
No, he's not.
Doing for years.
It's called statistical
If I made
analysis.
him sweat, I'd be sweating because I'd forget.
It's called what we do here.
No. I like Mitchell's style. I don't like your style. I need time for statistical analysis. We get those in early, please and thank you.
This is why we don't, because
he doesn't like Dave style, but he does like Mitchell style. But what is his stance on Gangnam style?
It's good too.
People.
We'll end the show as we always do with a token of wisdom to tide you over until next we meet. Let's see.
So Deuce. Why can't we just leave it there?
Deuce, what do you call a belt made... Yes, you're Deuce. What do you call a belt made out of watches?
A watch belt?
No.
That's a good question.
It's a waste of time.
I mean, technically.
Until next week, game on.
Weight Watcher. Game on.
Game on.